Hi, Otters. For my past week, I've been carry on working on my back-end development. Pieces by pieces, I got two more major steps to overcome until I can have beta testing released. So the two hurdle being one is the design of my post, as in the backend design, and the second one being how to connect that with the chat room. So hopefully still going okay, but you can never expect. I mean, it's really hard to expect whether everything's gonna go accordingly to the timeline, which I gradually understand a bit more firsthand. The other thing that I kind of which is interesting, is that I've been trying to cut down on my caffeine intake. So week by week, I've been cutting them down little by little, just as an experiment. Don't try it if you don't have these kind of time control or luxury to really work around. Because if I need to work 9 to 5, I don't think I can really be any productive if I don't have my coffee. But probably, hopefully, the reason I'm doing this is that hopefully I can be less dependent on the coffee. And yeah, it's tough. I can only imagine for those who have drug addictions, it's gonna be very tough. Because me without coffee, I'm just tired all the time, and just it's you cannot really focus well, and it's not really helping because I'm trying to develop something. So I need my brain to the 100%. So it's a bit tough. And I'm Karen looking into more about the open AI, etc. And I happened to be reading a book last week talking about AI as well. And I'm glad that I kind of figured out the stage 2 of what I'm going to do after my app. That will hopefully come alongside with it and then be a side product. But it will be a Google extension, which is actually the thing that I want to build at the very first hand, but I decided not to, because at the time I thought AI will be a very big hurdle for me to overcome. But now with ChatGPT, with some prompting questions, I realized that actually it can do what I wanted to do in the first hand. So that will be on my development list once I finish my app, or once my app is entering the beta testing phase. I then will be putting more focus, not all focus, but split some of my focus into understanding how to build it, and then use ChatGPT as an tool and to embed in my extension, which you can, if you Google now, there's a lot of things that's released already using OpenAI. So yeah, for those who still using Chrome, you can actually have an extension downloaded so that you can have ChatGPT embedded as well, like Bing. But yeah, I always find that name a bit cute, probably because of Chandler Bing. Anyways, but the other thing is that I've been wondering how education in the future will be like, because yeah, I feel like if I'm growing up in this environment, as in, okay, actually everything can be asked and then there's answer given, I don't think I'll learn, because like I feel like, okay, I mean, what's the purpose of it? I can just ask ChatGPT. But then probably they forgot that later, and then later, for example, if they don't know about algebra, then probably then in the longer future, they don't even know such thing exists, as in knowledge-wise. So probably 10 years to 20 years later, when they ask the question that they want to these AI services, they don't even know that asking anything about algebra is an option, because they don't know that exists. And it can be applied to all other stuff, calculus. In the future, probably people not knowing the purpose of, like, not the education system will be facing a huge challenge, as in still persuading people that these skills or basic knowledge are still useful. But if it fails, then little by little, like human beings, we probably will forget the knowledge that we once have, or accumulated, because like we depend on the AI too much, and then AI is only reacting based on what we ask, and the less we know, the less we can get, and probably the generation that's currently alive on the planet will be the smartest generation ever, because it's only going downward, because everyone's going to be dumb as F, because you don't even know anything. Probably in the future, we're just going to be, we just need to breathe. I don't know what's the, and then it leads to like, what's the meaning of life, and then why is there even, what's the purpose of human being on the planet? And especially if further down the road, if AGI is invented, so AGI is more about like, because now ChatGPT, you still need to ask him question for him to reply, but AGI is kind of like, I'm definitely not gonna explain it very well, but it's kind of like the real artificial intelligence, which is so called, are humans last invention needed? Then it just sounds to me like, okay, all the past thousands and thousands of history of human being, we end up creating this AGI as if it's a new species, and then there's no use of human being, and we're just gonna extinct. Or it's actually the whole same cycle the Earth had gone through already. Probably the Neanderthal ancestors, they are probably smart as if, like, even longer before. It's just that they happen to have AGI, and so they all of a sudden grow dumber and dumber by generation, and then one day they worship AGI as if it's a god or something, and that's probably why ancient history there's a lot of these kind of icons showing up in different society, and then one day the AGI fed up, and then they just decide to leave human being and explore on their own. But it's very fiction now, but probably that's a explanation. Anyways, oh yeah, and then also this week I've been looking for some accelerators that I may sign up for, although I think I'm still a bit too early for those, but just to be prepared, because there's so many types of it, so I kind of want to make sure that I can find the one that fits my purpose the best. And yeah, but yeah, there's still a lot of things to do. Anyways, see you guys next week.